Hey everyone. This video is again a continuation of looking at solving multi-step equations, this time focusing on equations that include distributive property, or multiplying through a variable. We're only going to look at ones with a single distributive property at this point. Again, we're sticking with integer only, so that way we don't get any fraction or decimal answers or solutions, just to make it a little bit easier here. We'll look at in another video problems that have a combination of all the things that we've looked at in this video and previous ones. So we're going to go through two examples, and then we'll look at how to check them, as well as that we can find the answer as well as the solution. So first, let's look at this problem. We have 2 quantity x minus 2 equals 8. So we're sticking with real simple basic numbers. Again, I'm going to separate my left from my right side. Now notice I'm going to put a little times symbol because that's what that means. When you have a number touching a grouping symbol, with the exception of things like absolute value, that normally implies multiplying through, better known as distributive property. So we're going to be multiplying this 2 to the x and to the negative 2. Now I've had people ask, can you just divide it to the other side? And yes, you can. I'm not going to show that, but if you want to, that's fine. If you do, that means the parentheses will drop away, but only do that if you know it's going to move over and divide simply. That means that you're not going to get any decimals or fractions. You want to make it as easy as you can. So when I multiply again, I'm going to drop a 1 in there just so I can see it. 2 times 1x is 2x. 2 times negative 2 is minus 4. Drop the equals and move down the 8. Notice I now have my variable in one location, so I can start moving everything. Remember, this 2 goes last. So first, minus 4 means I'm going to add 4. So plus 4. Put my horizontal separator. So I get 2x equals, and 8 plus 4 is 12. Now to get rid of the 2, it's a times, so I divide both sides by 2, and I get 12 divided by 2 is 6. So there's my answer. Now I need to make certain that it's also a solution. So I'm going to check it. So remember, what I do is I'm going to write the original problem the way it was. Don't write it in any way you changed it. I'm going to replace the x with my answer of 6. And my goal is to see if I get the same thing on each side. Now, since it's only numbers, don't distribute. PEMDAS says do the inside first. So we have 2. 6 minus 2 is going to give us a 4. And I still have equals 8. 2 times 4 is 8, equals 8. So it checks. So 6 is both our solution and our answer. It works out. Okay, now we're going to look at another example, but it's going to be changed around a little bit. It's going to look a little bit different. That's okay. I have negative 4 equals, parentheses, 2x plus 1, parentheses, times 4. Now, whenever we write an item after a parenthesis, we do tend to put the dot operator, the times symbol. In front, we don't tend to put it, but after we do. So I am still going to distribute. It's just I'm distributing this direction. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. Remember, multiplication is commutative. That means that it can go in either direction. So you can multiply from the left item to the right or from the right to the left. Does not matter. So the negative 4 drops down with the equals. 4 times 2 is 8x. 4 times 1 is positive 4. Again, you could have done that division at the beginning, but I'm not going to show that. That's fine if you do. We still have x by itself, so now I'm going to subtract the 4 from each side. Negative 4 minus 4 is negative 8. And bring down the 8x. To get rid of the 8, I'm going to divide it to the other side. So x equals negative 8 divided by 8 is negative 1. Now that's our answer. Now we need to check and see if it's also our solution. So negative 4 equals, parentheses, 2 times negative 1 plus 1, parentheses, times 4. Again, don't distribute. We're going to deal with that first. We're going to follow PEMDAS. Negative 2 times negative 1 is negative 2, plus 1 times 4. Then we're going to carry down. Negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. Don't need the parentheses anymore. Let's just make certain that that's a dot. And then negative 4 equals negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. They both work, so they check. So negative 1 is our answer and our solution, so it works. The key here is that distributive, and in any equation solving problem, the best way you can help yourself and make it easier, deal with distributive first. In the next video, we'll look at some higher level problems that have a mixture of all of these different topics, and I will always do distributive first. It is not 100% always required, but trust me, it will help you get it done easier if you get rid of parentheses. I'm going to tell you about an order that we'll deal with it in, and then we'll look at examples. But remember, go back and look through any of the previous videos if you need to, and it'll help out with all of these.